that will partly address the policies we have continued to implement poorly to the detriment of the economy of Nigeria. This my motion today on the urgent need to protect local meter manufacturers in the ongoing national mass metering program of the government is one that's very touchy to me. Oftentimes, we've continued to groan over lack of capacity development in this country. And when people make conscious efforts to contribute meaningfully in the industrial development of this country through manufacturing, government will be there. Some agencies of government will continue to frustrate these local initiatives. And I saw this one, I first saw it on television as a debate between local meter manufacturers complaining aloud about the discriminatory policies or the procurement criteria put in place on the plan to award contract for the production of 1.2 million meters in the mass metering program of the government. I took special interest in it, and I had to investigate it. So I found out that the World Bank has approved a loan of $155 million to be devoted to the phase 2 of this program, because they had gone through phase 1 program. These local meter manufacturers were pre-qualified and found to be competent because they are manufacturing meters locally. Then the funding aspect failed, and government now went for a loan. And when the loan was approved by the World Bank, the criteria for the procurement was skewed in a manner that no local meter manufacturer will get any of the contracts. So I said we cannot allow that to happen in this country. Everything is going wrong here. Look at, we just removed the oil subsidy here, and look at the implications and effects, debilitating effects the removal is having on the people, the citizens, the hardship it's occasioning, and we don't know when these things will be reined in and they will put back on a good movement. And this one again, Nigeria has borrowed so much money. We have borrowed trillions of dollars, but these monies have not been utilized towards developing local capacities to help us begin to produce. We don't refine petroleum products. That's why we're in this quagmire. We don't refine. If we're refining the crude God gave us, will we ever be caught in this kind of mess? We don't. We lift our crude to foreign companies abroad, they refine, and export our product to us. You know, the base product is the petroleum, which we produce here. They will come and buy it, refine it, and put all manners of charges and costs on it, bring back to us, and our government will subsidize it. We just did a motion on the recovery regime, where government pays the difference between the actual cost of the product and what they will supply it to us at. So look at where we are. So I took time to say and review all these loans to see that if we don't take time, this country will collapse finally. So anything we are able to do, we should be able to do it for ourselves. Anything we cannot do, then we can have recourse to external support and services. Nigerian local manufacturers are manufacturing very smart, standard electricity meters. Now the World Bank has come with a bidding criteria, making it an international bidding process, so that companies from China, Europe, even America will come in, because $155 billion is not small money in any economy. They will come and turn in evidence of turnover, cash in the bank, and all that, run into maybe hundreds of millions of dollars again. On the financial bidding, they will eliminate local manufacturers. So they will lend us $155 million. They will bring people who come and take away the $155 million and send these meters to us. I've also verified that the meters Nigerian meter manufacturers produce are stronger than the ones that are ferrying in from outside the country. So if we don't make efforts to checkmate this type of action, then we will never develop. Imagine $155 million recycled inside Nigeria through these meter manufacturers. How many jobs they can create? How better they can become, even in that sector. So I said we cannot allow that, because if we do, there's no day it will stop. That's why I brought this motion. And before I did, I was satisfied that the Nigerian local meter manufacturers can manufacture these meters, excellent smart meters, you know. So I said we cannot continue doing that. If World Bank insists that if they give us loan, they give us somebody who will come and take the loan, you know, take it back to their own economy. Let them go. We have Afrexim Bank. I'm happy that you saw the debate in the plenary. All the senators supported this motion, because our problem is lack of production. We don't produce foods. We don't produce things that we need. We depend on importation. Simple economics tells you that a country collapses when the balance of payment is skewed against that nation. If you don't produce to earn money and you depend on importation, your country will become a dumping ground. And you will never balance your accounts. Your books will never balance. And that's where we are. That today we borrow for everything because of lack of production here. You recall that presidential candidate of Labour Party, you know, I'm a member of Labour Party now. Yes, he's talking about production against consumption. So when you have opportunity to assess things that will help you increase your production base, you must hold on to it. And if we insist, like the Senate has insisted today, the TCN cannot go on with this procurement. There are alternative funding options. The AFDB, African Development Bank, can give us the money. Our local manufacturers will produce this meter, and you will be here. Those meters will be distributed, and there will be no fault in them. Many people will be engaged. Unemployment will be reduced. That money can be, the money the companies will make can be channeled to increasing their productive capacity, so they can even be exporting meters to other countries. So this is the opportunity I saw, and I felt we should latch onto it. I was very happy. I discussed this motion with the Senate President first. He saw through it and allowed it. Yesterday it was the first motion, but because of intervening forces, we couldn't go to the motions. Today it was listed again as number one motion. That shows you the importance the Senate President attached to the motion. And when I moved it, the whole Senate supported it. There were people who wanted to talk about their own experiences that are manufacturers inside that chamber. There's one senator, Senator Cabals from Jigawa. He has a granite factory in his place. And he said when he got a job to supply granite, the company went to a company in Iran and awarded the contract to a company in Iran. The company in Iran has machines that are inferior to the one he deployed in Jigawa State. So this is what we suffer. So I thank the Senate today that they were patriotic and they saw through the motion and the prayers. All the prayers were taken, and an additional prayer was added from Senator Oba that we can also access CBN intervention fund that is already established to finance this national mass metering program of the government. So that's what we have done. And I think if we put our eyes on things like this everywhere around us in Nigeria, we will be contributing towards promoting a better future for this country. Yes, so that's it.
Yeah. Thank you, distinguished Senator. Just